Treat Me Like a Princess by Dirty Little Secrets. Oh, and for anyone who came from my previous upload, I don't quit that easily. Don't worry. Carousel Boutique was quiet. Weirdly quiet. I almost thought she wasn't home. She had to be, of course, or else she wouldn't have sent Spike to fetch me. Would she? I didn't think nothing much over it, though. I had been here plenty of times before. Though, I wish Rarity would have told me why she wanted me over so consarned urgently. I had apples to buck back home that were waiting on me just as urgent. Rarity only got preference because she was slightly more important than a few apples. It better be important, though. I knocked on the over-decorated door. No response. So, I knocked again, harder. I might have dented or dirtied it a bit, but it wasn't as if that was a big deal or anything. After the hard knock went unanswered, I spun around to give it a good, solid buck. But then thought better of it. She don't like it when I break her stuff. Staring at the door for a moment brought to mind another possibility I hadn't thought of before. That doorbell button was just sitting there, begging to be pushed. So I did. Before the bell was even done ringing out its convoluted chimes, one of the upstairs windows opened up and Rarity's voice came out. "Is that you, Applejack? Is open. You can come in." She drew out the last word into at least 2 or 3 more syllables than it ought to have been. I shook my head and went on in. It was weird, being in there with all the lights off and everything. Just didn't look right. But I'm a practical sort of pony, and I shrugged it off and headed for the staircase that curved around the back wall. It didn't look any more normal upstairs, and I have to confess, I've got a great head for direction if you get me in the great outdoors, but I can get pretty turned around inside. "Rarity," I called out. "Which room are y'all in?" "Bedroom, darling." The reply came from my left. What would she want me in the bedroom so bad for? Darn peculiar filly. But still, a friend's a friend, and she must have needed my help something fierce to interrupt everything like this. The minute I opened that bedroom door, I knew something was up. Rarity was sitting on her bed, facing away from me, and the lights were all turned down real low. She had done some kind of crazy magic on her mane to make it blue and wavy. She had got a couple blue wings stuck on her back, and she had painted over her cutie mark with a big black splotch. It was a mite more than I could take. "Rarity, what the hey is going on here?" "My name isn't Rarity. It's Princess Luna." I stared back at her. That shapely, gently curved back that... Nope, not going there. "What are you talking about? Your name ain't Luna, it's Rarity. I think I've known ya long enough to know your name at least." She twisted around and looked at me. Oh, goddess. She had piled on that makeup. "Oh dear, Applejack, I'm simply inviting you to play a little game with me." I let one eyebrow slowly raise up. "A game, huh?" "Right. Ever since our roll in the hay some time ago, I've been simply itching to share my favorite game with you." "Oh, that kind of game." I gave a drawn out and half-hearted sigh. "Look, Rares, both of us know that didn't mean nothing. I've been drinking too much cider and..." She used her magic to lift me up and bring me around the bed to face her. "Hey, you put me down right now." Her magic cut out and unceremoniously dumped me on the ground in front of her. It hurt a bit, but I didn't shy away from hard knocks. Though, I did wish I had maybe told her to put me down gentle. She grinned down at me, and I noticed her horn poking out of her mane. She had painted it blue too. I'll never understand the peculiarities of unicorns, and that's a fact. I am Princess Luna. You are my lowly earth pony peasant, and you're going to treat me like a princess. The hey I am! I got apples too! Rarity's magic clamped my mouth shut. Shush! Peasants will speak when spoken to. She looked down at me imperiously. I'll take that to mean yes, princess. I shook my head and tried to run out of the room, but her magical grip on my muzzle just turned me right back around to her. Nuh-uh-uh. She wagged a hoof at me. Peasants will leave when they are dismissed, not a moment sooner. Welp, this was weird, but it looked like I might be up a creek. I really didn't like where this was going, but it didn't look like I would have a say in any of it. Are you ready to serve your princess, Applejack? The magic around my mouth lifted, but I bit off the rebuke I felt like giving her. Maybe it would be better to play along and then scamper out when her guard was down. But was I really willing to play along with this load of rotten apples? While I stood in my indecision, Rarity got up off the bed and slowly walked around me, circling closer and closer until I could feel the warmth of her body. Long, lean muscles flexed under her model perfect curves, and I couldn't help staring. My own body being so bulky and strong for a mare, I had to admire that sleeker, more feminine charm. She probably got lots of newfangled exercises instead of honest work. Rarity stopped in front of me, her body slightly curling around the front of me, her smooth, curved back almost right under my chin. Okay. I guess I have to admit it. Maybe that one time I slept with her, I hadn't drank as much cider as I acted like. Sure, I had some, maybe even enough to make a regular pony tipsy. But I was raised on the stuff. It wasn't enough to fuzzy my judgment. And I had judged this here crazy white unicorn to be worth a few hours hidden away in the hayloft. Only, maybe I didn't realize just how crazy she was. You like my royal alicorn physique, don't you, peasant? She arched her back even more and flipped her tail up, giving me a strong whiff of her delicate scent. I'm a healthy sort of mare, not shy about inclinations. I couldn't deny that this was getting a bit pleasantly warm and drippy under the tail. I wasn't about to give in to this whole Princess Luna thing, though. Rarity, ain't the real princess gonna be mad about? The magic clamped around my mouth again. And how would she ever know? Rarity winked at me. Anywho, I am the real princess, remember? And what happens if one of us dreams about it? I gave her a sour look, but then remembered my plan to play along enough to get away, and thought better of it. I nodded. Excellent! She released me again, and I immediately felt the warm, tingling touch of magic on my nethers. It brushed along, tracing up the crease between my pussy lips and ass cheek on one side, then down the other, before slowly pressing its way up the very middle of my slit, pushing into it a little. A low moan got out of me, and Rarity grinned. When the magic went away, I was ashamed to think that, for the first few moments, all I wanted was to have it back, not caring about any other thing. Rarity slowly strutted back to the bed, and my eyes followed the bounce of her tail the whole way there. She flopped onto the big fluffy pile of duvets and corlets, and other things I would probably never learn the name of, rolling over and spreading her back legs out wide. You may begin servicing your princess. Now this was my opportunity. She was a bit distracted, and I might be able to make it to the door before she... But I just stared. Her legs were so long, so smooth and round and perfect. And right in between the two of them, I had never seen a pussy so pristine. The delicate white skin of her mound was perfectly spotless and flawless. Not a wrinkle or freckle in sight. and the way her legs were spread opened up a little gap in the middle, showing me smooth pink walls that looked soft as silk. She looked clean as new snow all the way down to her tiniest detail. Her face looked down at me over the perfect curve of her belly, past her tiny pinkish white teats, and she gave me the very bedroomiest eyes. "Your princess commands you." I walked slowly closer, my eyes locked on her treasure. I was probably licking my lips, though I didn't know it. All I could think about was getting a closer look. Rarity's horn glowed again, really noticeable in the dark room. The closer I walked to her, the more of her magic played against my filly parts, which only fed into my mesmerization. That unicorn sure knew how to do it, but she was just teasing so far, tickling my mound and giving me gentle little pinches on my nipples with each step. Before I knew it, I was standing right between Rarity's legs, and her pink bits were right in front of my face. I stared at them shamelessly. "You have my permission, peasant." Rarity's magic pulse, tugging my nether lips open and close. And remember, I reward my faithful subjects well. By that point, I was hornier than a buck rabbit in a barrel of doughs, and it didn't even cross my mind anymore to run. Instead, I leaned in and gave it a nice, long sniff. God, she smelled so clean. And then dove in. I ain't one for subtlety and starting off slow. I aimed to get her done, so I scattered my tongue all over the outside of her, not forgetting to give each of her nipples a little suckle, and then started giving her long, wet licks all the way up, from her dripping entrance to the soft bulge over her clit, over and over. She wasn't kidding about that reward. The whole time I was fooling around, her magic was working at me real strong. It cut my whole underbelly now, from the very top of my teats all the way up to my tail hole, tingling every place it touched. When my pussy winked open, it touched a little bit on the inside too, and it even managed to brush on my clit, which made me moan into her. Once her pussy was good and soaked, I went for it. I stuck my tongue deep inside her hot tunnel and closed my lips down across the top of her slit. It didn't take long for her to wink, and when she did, I pulled her sweet little clit into my mouth and started suckling on it like I expected milk. That was finally enough to get a gas out of Rarity. She reached up and grabbed my mane, making my hat fall off, and shoved me down onto her even harder. I let her, of course. I didn't think of complaining, which was partly because of the way her tingling magic was rubbing me under my tail, working at my puffy, swollen mound like she was kneading dough, making it wink over and over. And the way she worked at my teats. I don't normally at any point touch them, so they're extra sensitive. I would have screamed out loud if my mouth wasn't full. Rarity snatch was winking up a storm, too. Each time it pulsed, her clit pushed up farther in my mouth, almost like she was fucking my lips with it. I went along with it, suckling on it, like I was giving a miniature blowjob. Not that I would really know, filly fool that I was, but I reckon that's how it's done. Her magic flickered when she cried out, and then it dropped out entirely. I didn't let up though, because I knew what was about to happen, and honestly, I could probably use a break from that intense stimulation. Rarity tensed up tighter and tighter, and she stopped winking. Or rather, she got stuck in the middle of one long, hearty wink. I didn't let up on my suckling, and in a moment, I finally got my milk. Her hot nectar splashed into my mouth and down my chin, but I still didn't let up. She gave one more cry, more of a shriek, as she clenched around me, pushing me even harder. Pulse after jittering pulse ran through her tense body, each one sending a fresh wave of heat into my mouth. She clenched her legs together, trapping me between the warm white skin and soft white fur of her thighs. Finally, she relaxed, let go of me, and flopped back onto the bed, her belly heaving in great big breaths. I plopped back down to sit on the floor and worked mostly at just getting my breath back. Breathing had been so much of a priority a minute ago, but now it was catching up to me. It looked like Rarity was busy breathing too, though her big gasps were interrupted now and then by her belly jittering and pulsing. I stared for a spell at the nice little trickle that leaked out of her each time she twitched. Seeing it dribble down the curve of her ass fascinated me for some fool reason. Before I had managed to catch my breath properly, Rarity calmed down and hopped up off of the bed. I watched her as she walked over to her dresser and opened a drawer. "You have performed most satisfactorily, good peasant," she said, "and as promised, it's now time for your reward." I felt a twitch below my butt and knew I'd be leaving a little wet spot on her nice bedroom carpet. I hoped she wouldn't notice until I was gone. Rarity used her magic to rummage through the drawer, tossing clothes left and right. The things she had tossed were all really tiny, and there was a lot of lace and thin satin straps among it all. I had never seen her wearing such, but I was starting to want to. I gave myself permission to stare at her rump as she shifted back and forth a bit. Hot damn, she was one gorgeous mare. Aha! Rarity stepped back and lifted something out of the drawer. This one had straps too, but wider ones, and attached to them was a great big stallion-y dong. My eyes went wide. Rarity? What the hell y'all doing? Princess Luna, not Rarity, she corrected as her magic sorted out the straps. And you should know that alicorns not only have the body parts of all three pony races, but also of both genders. Rarity, Luna. Fine, whatever. Luna, I've... Princess Luna. I glared at her, narrowing my eyes. Princess Luna? I've had my share of intimate moments with Twilight, both before and after she got wings, and she ain't got no... Rarity's magic clamped my mouth shut again, just long enough to shut me up. Then it let go and moved that great big rubber cock into place and fastened the straps tightly around her legs and rump. I couldn't help but stare, with the thick strap pressed into her soft skin a little. Peasants must not argue with their betters. Come now and claim your reward. I stood up and tucked my tail in. I only like mares, alright? I'm not really into... Even though my tail was pressed tightly against it, Rarity's magic had no problem finding my needy pussy and massaging it. Good thing I'm a mare, Rarity said. She walked slowly to me, cock bouncing as she went, then brushed along my body as she slowly slid past. The contact with her sleek body and the rolling pleasure in my nethers did their work. My tail wasn't clamped down anymore. It was rising up to say hi to an old friend. I couldn't slow it down one bit. My, she cooed from behind me. Who would suspect such treasures hidden in this simple farm peasant's body? I meant to tell her off, but instead I just winked my pussy. Darn traitor organ wasn't letting me think straight. Or maybe it was making me think straight when I wanted to think less, pony. It had me befuddled, that's for sure. Rarity reared up and plopped her chest up on top of my rump. I felt something hard and rubbery touch me where no such thing had done before. I tensed up. Hold on, I don't... She plunged it in, and not gently either. In one unbelievably, stupefyingly long thrust, she shoved it deep, deep inside, until her thighs hit my rump. Oh, goddess. Was that what it feels like to have a stallion inside? No wonder Rainbow liked it so much. I twitched inside. I could feel the whole damn thing. The whole shaft splitting me down the middle. Its hardness making my soft insides conform to its long, round curves. Sweet Celestia was deep. You like that, don't you? You like my royal cock inside of you. You want more, don't you? She was already pressing her crotch into the curve of my rump. How could there possibly have been any more to... She pushed harder, angling her crotch up a little bit. Soft skin squished in her thighs and my ass, and another inch went inside. 1 inch. I had thought I was full before, but now it was stretched. A Rarity. She cleared her throat. Oh, Luna. Rarity didn't say anything, but the way she slowly slid her strapped-on cock out and back in again told me she approved. Or, I guess, she approved. I was a mite past caring at the moment. Holy hell, that thing felt good inside me. She kept pushing it in and out, and it was just rubbing parts I never had rubbed before, stirring up feelings deeper inside me that I never knew there could be. My pussy was twitching and winking and getting tighter and tighter as she kept going at me. But I could tell I needed more. I wanted to feel everything this thing had. How to get it? Play along, of course. Oh, princess! Oh, princess! Faster! That worked great. Right away, Rarity's pace sped up, and she started slapping the straps on her legs against my ass. That was it. I moaned as loud as I pleased, which was right loud, and my insides clamped down hard on that huge cock. I felt little splatters on my back legs, and I knew I was getting close, passing the point of no return. The moment I burst, she shoved her cock deep, deep inside me. Deeper even than it had been in the beginning somehow. I had gotten off before plenty of times, but this was different. This time, when my pussy clenched and pulsed deep inside, it had something to clench and pulse on. It was amazing. I could feel every inch of her massive cock inside me, refusing to give in as my muscles rippled themselves across it. An unmovable pillar in the lightning storm, my steamy nethers were throwing around it. My whole self revolved around that solid thing inside me, and nothing else mattered at all. When my innards had pretty much stopped twitching, and I felt the warm, gooey mess of my orgasm draining down my inner thighs, Luna slowly slid her cock out of me. I was so damn sensitive. Every vein and bump sent little spikes of almost too intense pleasure rocking through me, and it made my whole belly twitch a few more times before the tip of it finally plopped out. I was plumb tuckered, and just dropped right down on the soft carpet, my sides heaving. Princess! Oh, boy howdy, that was amazing. Luna laid herself behind me and wrapped her white hooves around my chest. I'm glad you liked it. I could feel her still hard shaft pressing into the indent in the middle of my muscular back, and I reveled in it, thinking on how deep inside me it must have been, judging from how high on my back I felt it now. Do you think you might desire more royal sessions in the future? Luna asked. I nodded, fighting a losing battle against the sleep that was trying to take me. I'll be yours any time you want, Princess Luna. I yawned and blinked my eyes. You're the best princess there ever was. The end. Thank you so much for listening to the reading. I really hope you enjoy it. We're going back to some female on female lesbian stuff. This time, in fact, I think this is the first time I've read something with lesbian strap-ons. I never thought I would ever say that sentence into a microphone, but I did. Well, anyway, yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. That was a good reading. It was a bit rough on my end. I mean, I feel that I'm a bit tired, you know. I mean, I've been really busy lately, and I've been cramming out these readings at the end of the day, right before right before I'm getting to sleep, So my voice is really hoarse. What is it? Yeah, hoarse. And it's not really nice sounding. On the other hand, though, one of my subscribers, Naughty Applejack, was kind enough to actually buy me a new microphone. He or she just outright bought me a Shure SM57. It's... I still don't believe it to this day. It is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's $100 mic, right? And shipping it here would probably be another, $60, something like that. And just to have someone throw down $160 on me with nothing, expecting nothing back, is just thank you. I think that's all I can say. Thank you so much, Naughty Applejack. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. This reading, this story, it's for you. Even though you don't want anything back, take this. I hope you enjoy. And until next time, bye-bye!